Hi. So, okay, I know it's been a while since I posted, like 3 weeks or so. I had a really hard time going through the events of after the trip. Um, and this is funny. I got a message on this channel, this one here, from uh, Joey's brother threatening me, uh, saying that I messed with the wrong family. Well, I didn't mess with his family. That guy messed with me. It's really really awful. All I ever wanted were the photos that he promised and to share the memories of the trip. I knew I wasn't going to get anything else, but he is such an obstreperous piece of work that this is what I'm doing. And Brandon Casper, if you have any problems with it, go be like him. Be the kind of idiot jerk that your brother is. Because you know what? I'll bet it runs in the family. Hmm. Yeah, no sympathy for me. $10,000 I spent on your brother, that worthless piece of crap, and got absolutely nothing for it except treated like garbage. Now, granted, so after we got back, he's totally out of touch with me. Doesn't really have much to do. I have a few messages, but they're all pretty. It's mostly me talking, like trying to get his attention. Like, hey, what's going on? What's the deal? Why are you shutting me out? Kind of thing. Oh, I'm not. I'm not doing it. I'm not. And then when he needs money, he starts sending me other messages. I'm just really broke. I have to sell the motorhome and do all this so I can have money. And so then I ended up lending him money, which was a big mistake. Uh, but because never got it back. Never gonna get any of it back. Although there were two court cases, which I'll get into a little bit later. I have the video that I will upload at some point soon. I'm hoping to once I get the logistics figured out. Um, but it's kind of funny that he's getting his family involved now, and what a horrible person I am. I'm a horrible person. I spent my life savings taking this guy to Europe, gave him an all expense paid trip, and he never thanked me. Not once did he ever say thank you. Or, hey, here are the souvenirs we agreed to share. Here's what here are the photos we agreed to share. Nothing. I got none of it. Well, thereby hangs a tale. So stay tuned, people. But so I just wanted to get a little bit up to speed on what happened. I actually on one of the apps found his ex. And his ex, I went and met, and very little happened. I mean, it was his ex was with somebody else, and I showed up, and it was mainly I was looking for answers. It was like, which the lady in the court pointed out on the court show. So it was very important to me to try to figure out what was going on with him and what kind of person he was, because before I left, um, before he shut me out, when he was hooking up with all these other guys, when he was supposedly going to Europe with me, exploring our relationship, blah blah blah. He's hooking up with a whole bunch of other guys, which I didn't find out till after I got back, when I ran into some of them and found out what was going on. So that I wanted answers, and at the bar, I was going to go and I was going to ask people there, "Do you know Joey Casper? And tell me what the deal is with this guy. Tell me what the story is." Because I was trying to give myself an out. If this is something's weird going on, oh no 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 no. But I would talk to him. I kind of confront him. As I went to when I was going to ask people at your hangout, your bar, um, what they thought of you, what your reputation was, and etc. And I decided not to. I mean, I was there, I was in a position to, but I was like, I'm just going to give him a chance to start over, give him a chance to leave the past behind, which is what I was doing. My whole thing about the trip and everything else was leave the past behind, leave America behind, go explore, have a new relationship, have an experience that was not rooted in what had gone on in the past. And I knew that he was dealing with the court issues for assault. That's why I hired a very good lawyer for him, which I paid for. He's never given the lawyer a penny, even to this day. Um, I was very supportive of him, and I just said, the past is the past. I don't care. I don't want to know what happened in the past. It's not important. Let's start from the beginning, brand new, fresh start. You can be whoever you want to be, and not have to worry about what occurred in the past. But when I told him that I went to the bar to go ask people about him, his face went like, and I said, but I didn't. I want to give you a chance to not be not be burdened by what happened to you in the past. Let's just move forward and leave it at that. So he was like, oh, okay, okay. And that's why the beginning of the trip was pretty good, I think. Well, you know what, I've shared all that with you um, before. But when we got back, I met with his ex, and very little happened. But we went Saturday. Would have been about July, around the second week of July, 2 weeks after we got back, about a week and a half after we got back. We went and played pool, had a great time. Hey, what was your favorite restaurant? What favorite thing we did? What did you like? So just trying to remember the trip and build memories and talk about it. And I brought all the stuff. I wanted to divvy up our spoils and divvy up the coins and the souvenirs and divvy up everything so that, put that past in perspective. He got absolutely furious that I had met with his ex, and I phrased it very poorly. I told him, I said, well, I did your ex, but I didn't. Um, but I guess I felt hurt enough at that point in time by his actions that I wanted to be a little bit hurtful toward him, slap in the face, get his attention. Hello. Um, and he did not respond very well to that. So then he began a calculated program of manipulating both his ex and me, playing us off against one another. And I still haven't quite figured out why. I have other phone messages on the other phone that we'll start going through, which would have been still keeping track of a year ago. That puts us at August 7th was his sentencing date. When I wrote a letter to the judge because he was being so hateful and spiteful about sharing the photos, which we had agreed to, and basically I texted him, and I texted him a lot because he wouldn't answer the phone, wouldn't talk to me, so the only way I had to get a hold of him was to text him, and I was I was very upset and probably a little frantic in my texting, in all honesty. And he finally said, no, I'm done. I'm done. You've texted me too many times. I'm done with you. I don't want to have anything else to do with you. You're not getting anything, no photos, no nothing. Well, my dad's very ill, wanted to see the photos. Joey had them all. And no, we didn't want to share any of those with my dad, even though we stood in my dad's living room and agreed that my dad would see the photos. He was standing right next to me. But he decided to be bitter and hateful and spiteful. So there's no capacity in that human being, Joey Casper. There's no capacity for sympathy, empathy, compassion, absolutely nothing. He's like, this is the gay world. This is what it is. You get used by other people and then they throw you away like a used tampon or toilet paper or whatever. All done, and flush it away, and it's all over. It never happened. You know, oh, there never was a relationship. Oh, gee, really? You know, I spent my life savings taking you to Europe and there was no relationship? Really? Really? That's what you think? Well, you certainly made me think otherwise. So it was a total deception on your part? Is that the deal? Yeah, probably it was. So as I see this, and as I was describing this to my to some of my doctor friends, um, it's like he's a sociopath, and there's no conscience, no guilt, no remorse, no nothing. It's like he would. That's what he does. He just takes people and he uses them. And his ex lost everything while he was working. Didn't help try to save his ex's home or anything like that. Just totally threw his ex under the bus. He had two cars. His ex had to sell his to make house payments, and he wouldn't even let his ex. He wasn't when he wasn't working. He wouldn't let his ex borrow the extra car. Wouldn't take him to work. Did nothing. Just left him out to dry. And that's the thing is that his ex really did care about him, and I really did care about him. And this guy will throw you under the bus first opportunity he gets, and people allow him to do that. And it's a real interesting sociopathic study. I I understand his brother coming to his defense and threatening me, but it's fascinating that there's no morality in any of these people. Not even as far as I can tell in his family. It's like, what's the right thing to do here, Joey? What's the right thing to do? Well, the right thing to do is to follow through with what you said you would do and share the photos and the souvenirs and be done. But no, he's got to be just angry and evil and vituperous about it. And it's very frustrating for someone like me. And for those of you who know me, or those of you who don't know me, I'm a decent, honest person. Um, I'm not. I'm not that kind of person. I keep my promises. I kept every single promise I ever made to that guy. Every promise I made, I kept, except for one, and that was the Palm and Garden one. And I even said, "Well, we'll Uber it. We'll get you there. We'll do it. No, 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 no. It's too late, and it's your fault." So it just was not. Um, the aftermath was worse and just kept getting worse. So as I sought out his ex looking for answers, I didn't find any much except that I allowed myself to be used by a user. It's what he does. I could see the change in him when he started taking the meth in Europe. Um, it was like it was easier to go back and be a manipulative, spiteful person than it was for him to improve himself, than it was to go with what he had going and take this opportunity to improve himself and all of that. It stymies me. It just absolutely stymies me that there's a human being on the planet that could treat other people the way I was treated. The main reason I'm doing this is it's a warning. I mean, it's look out for this guy and people like this guy, these sociopaths who circulate through the gay community and just use and manipulate people, and they think that they're the best people in the room, and they really aren't. Um, so I'll get back to some of this and catch you up on the court things because we're going to have to jump ahead a year. Um, Starting here pretty quick. But I don't want to take up too much more of your time. And I will post again uh, as soon as I can. Thanks. Hope you're all doing well, except for certain people. Thanks.